Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Sopiarz-Rianda. I hope you had a fantastic weekend and I hope you took advantage of the extension that I gave you last week. Hopefully you know what I'm talking about. If you checked your updates or your messages anytime after Thursday, you know that I granted an extension for your first draft of your research paper. So everything else was due on Friday as always, but I did give you that extension for your rough draft, just because I wanted to give you the time to really do your best work. This paper, as you will find and know, is the most work you're going to be doing this semester as far as points. The rough draft alone is worth 100 points, and the research paper is worth 250 points. So I really wanted to give you more time to be successful with that and submit your rough draft, because that's really where the bulk of my feedback is going to be given. So clicking on Materials, and Unit 6, you can see I modified this over here. Session 6 is due by the 16th before midnight. This is going to be a 2-week session. So as I mentioned, this is a big assignment and I'm giving you extra time to work on it. So this session, Session 5, which is usually done in a week, I'm giving you 2 weeks to finish up and polish up and revise your final draft before you submit it by the 16th. Then that brings the late work due date, which is usually 5 days later, till Friday the 21st, which is the day before spring break. Also, I want to point special attention that also on the 17th, after we're done with this unit, we'll be starting a nonfiction reading unit, and you can choose any one of these 4 novels on the right here: Angela's Ashes, Into Thin Air, West with the Night, or The Perfect Storm. And if you click on that, you can see that I also added some links for reviews for you to preview the text. If you don't know which one you want to read, you can click on them and it'll give you a little preview of the text. Be sure that you pick a book and you get the book, obtain it either from the library, from your family's library or your friend's library at home. You can download it, whatever, just you need a copy of it by the 17th. So I just want to make sure you're also aware of that, that's on the back burner for us in a couple of weeks. Okay? So clicking on Unit 6, scrolling down to Session 5, you can see again, it's a 2-week session due by the 16th. Watch our weekly update video. And in this session, we're going to be doing a really in-depth revision and editing of your research paper. So by the time you're done, you're going to be really proud of the work you're doing. So here is basically just kind of what I reviewed as far as, the session is 2 weeks. So really make sure that you take advantage of this opportunity with the extra time and to submit your work. If you don't need the extra time and all you really needed was a week, well, great, good for you. You can use that time to catch up on any other missing work you might have in Unit 6, or you can get your book and start reading if you like. So I'll probably make Unit 7, Session 1 available a little early for those of you that want to work ahead. Again, here's that list of books, so be sure to choose from this list and get that book. So our 2 big assignments this week are the revision discussion and then the research paper itself, which is going to be submitted into turnitin.com. And here is the suggested schedule for the week. Be sure to review that and follow it. I highly recommend you following it. And here are our essential questions for the week that will be really framing our session this week. So the first thing that you're going to do before you start the editing process is to do an initial review. So be sure to read through this information and do an initial review of your draft. Now the thing is, you submitted your first draft to me in Schoology. Be sure that you go back and review my feedback in Schoology on your first draft. That's where I will be doing the bulk of my individual feedback. If you click on the assignment in your gradebook and you click on the Dropbox, then that's where you'll see all of my feedback. I expect you to utilize that feedback and incorporate it into your final draft. I won't be giving that type of feedback for your final draft. All the feedback I'm going to be giving you is going to be on your first draft. What I'll be giving you for your final is the rubric. So be sure that I spend a lot of time giving you feedback on your first draft. So be sure that you, number one, read it, number two, incorporate it into your writing. So the first thing that we're going to be doing for our editing is looking for transitions for smooth reading. You're going to review what a transition is, which you should know at this point. But what you'll be doing is you're going to be highlighting 3 transitions in yellow for your final draft to demonstrate the ways you've experimented with these 3 types of transitions. The transitional word, transitional sentence, and a transitional paragraph. So when you submit your final into turnitin.com, these 3 different types of transitions should be highlighted in yellow. So click Next. The next step that you're going to be playing with and experimenting with is rhetorical devices. And read through the definitions of these 3 different rhetorical devices and decide on one that you're going to try in your research paper. Add in your chosen rhetorical device into your final and then highlight it in blue so that it's clear that you've experimented with it. Again, that's what you're going to be doing in your final paper. Next, you're going to be using this really awesome tool called Writing Reviser. You're going to click on this link right here, and it helps you with style errors and grammar in your writing. The username is right here, and there is no password. And I highly recommend that you watch this video to kind of walk you through how to use this tool. You're going to be copying and pasting your entire essay into this program, and you are going to move through it with its suggestions on the left-hand side. It's a really awesome tool to play with and helping you with your revisions. Finally, what you're going to be doing is some peer revision. So be sure to read through this and post your paper, and be sure that when you are providing feedback that everyone who has submitted their paper has feedback. So if you submit your paper and you are going to start your feedback, you should choose the person that doesn't have any feedback yet over the person who does. Okay, so we just want to be fair about it. Finally, make sure you have a really good hard look at your paper before you submit it. Review the rubric, review the research paper qualifications. Make sure you've read and used my feedback, super important, your peer feedback, and that you've made use of the Writing Reviser before you turn in your final draft. So finally, you get to submit your final draft of your Time 100 research paper, and you will be submitting this into turnitin.com. You are required to turn it there, otherwise it will not be graded. If you were with me last semester for semester 1, then you already have an account, and you could just skip down to number 6 right there. And if you do not have an account and you were not in my class last semester, just start with number 1 and create an account and enroll in our class. And submit your final draft there. There's a video right here if you need it regarding turnitin.com. Okay, so once you submit your paper, I'll grade it there, and then I'll transfer the grades into Schoology. Okay, so the Dropbox for the assignment is enabled, so you are not able to submit anything into it. Much like the wiki, I'll be submitting the grades when I'm done grading. If you have any questions about anything these next 2 weeks, please contact me. I'm happy to help. Have a great day, everybody.